Maybe leave the military stuff to people who know what they're talking about, and instead take care of your own show. And if you did a good job of that, I won't be sitting here to save your failing ratings.
We're still here. People, when I got out of the car today, I saw mailmen, people with their kids. I saw people living their lives, and that's what we have to do.
Well, Whoopi, what you saw with your own eyes is pretty much impossible because, at least for the past 4 years, every single one of you on this show, including your friends in the mainstream media, you told Americans that Trump is like Hitler. You compared his supporters to Nazis. You called him a fascist, a racist, a dictator. And now that he is elected, you're telling me that Americans are going on with their lives? Like, why are you even sitting here, Joy? You said if elected, Trump will put you and Whoopi in jail for being comedians. Unfunny comedians, I should add. Maybe that should be a crime. I don't know. But all of you are sitting here and you are just fine. And that should not be the case if you really believed what you said about Trump. I don't understand.
Donald Trump had this to say about Liz Cheney. Pay attention to this. Watch this.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
This is exactly what communists do.
Yep.
They shoot their opponents, their opposition, in firing squads.
So you see that as a direct threat?
Oh, well, as to Liz, absolutely.
Trump made the point that Liz Cheney wouldn't be so quick to send young American soldiers to die in wars if she were in their shoes having a rifle pointing at her. But you cut the first half of the clip to distort its context, actively generating a false narrative to mislead your audience. That is called disinformation.
Let's talk about the real stuff. Your pocketbook's bad, not because the Bidens did anything. It's because the folks that own the groceries are pigs.
Yeah.
Gas is high, not because the Bidens didn't try to help, but because the folks who control that decided, I want more money.
High grocery prices are caused by inflation. Inflation comes from economic issues mostly driven by the decisions of a country's leader, in this case, Biden and Kamala. Hold on. Now, high gas prices are mainly due to the Russia-Ukraine war, which started under Biden and Kamala and is still being funded by Biden and Kamala. At the same time, Biden and Kamala's crackdown on domestic energy production has further driven gas prices up.
Former member of the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole Scherzinger, is getting backlash for commenting on a post. MAGA supporter Russell Brand holding a cap reading "Make Jesus First Again," asking him, where can I get that hat? Because she liked the hat that said, make Jesus, whatever the hat said, first again. So why do you think people can't see what she was commenting?
Well, gee, Whoopi, I don't know. Could it be that they behave this way because the entire mainstream media, including every one of you on this show, spend your airtime radicalizing your liberal base against conservatives and Trump supporters? Or is that a level of honesty you're just not ready for?
I think a lot of us are still apoplectic that America put in this racist misogynist and they don't care. So it's tiring. It is exhausting. I gotta breathe. My mental health has got to be in a good place. My physical health has got to be in a good place.
And I listen to people make fun of it. You know, it's not about race. It's not about misogyny. It is for me. It is for me.
Well, Whoopi, I'm glad that you're now admitting that this entire race and misogyny hustling that you got going on this show is based on your feelings about Americans who elected Trump and not the objective reality. Now, The word for that is delusion. Used in a sentence, you would say, Whoopi is delusional. Or Anna's breakdown that we just witnessed stems from her delusion and is impacting her physical and mental health, which is what you just said, okay? You can even go further. Sunny reigns as the queen of delusional thinking. Y'all get the idea, right?
So Trump's latest cabinet nominee is RFK Jr. for, wait for it, the head of Health and Human Services. He's a longtime vaccine skeptic and conspiracy theorist who has linked antidepressants to school shootings. He wants to get rid of fluoride in the water. Cavities.
That's your new Secretary of Health, America. Thank you for voting for Donald Trump.
You're welcome, Anna. But Joy, about the opening monologue that you just gave, very impressive. Now, do you mind sharing with us which pharmaceutical company was behind the script for that?
You know, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well.
If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not what stat. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect.
Yes, you can.
Wait, calm down. Okay. Calm down. Alicia, you got some common sense there. I'm glad the therapy is working. Now, Sonny, since the election, you keep crying and blaming misogyny and racism as a reason for Kamala's loss. Okay, Obama was president. He black. Hillary won the popular vote. She's a woman. And you are a woman, and you're black, and you're making well over $1 million a year on this show, which puts you in the top 0.1% of earners in America. I guess racism and misogyny have not stopped you now, have they?
Here's his take on women who serve their country.
You don't like women in combat?
No. I love women service members who contribute amazingly. You maintain the standards where they are for everybody. And if there's some, hard-charging female that meets that standard, great. Cool. Join the infantry battalion.
All I heard was that women can't be in combat. Again, another sort of take women down.
I think that says a lot about who he is. And so I think we're seeing misogyny play out. I think we're seeing racism play out. And
well, I'm not sure how does misogyny or taking down women, because on the battlefield, the enemy won't treat you any differently because you are a woman or they want to approach you with diversity in mind. They will simply you up, okay? Because men are physically stronger than women. There are, of course, exceptions, but generally, men are stronger than women, and that's not misogynistic. It is biologistic, okay? So, maybe leave the military stuff to people who know what they're talking about, and instead take care of your own show. And if you did a good job of that, I won't be sitting here to save your failing ratings.